Neanderthals Last Stand, Unveiling the Epic Journey to Extinction, or not. Ever stood in front of the mirror and pondered, could there be a hint of Neanderthal in my DNA? It might sound like an unusual question, but what if it's not that strange after all? Attention viewers, if you identify as Asian or Caucasian, prepare for a captivating revelation. Your ancestors might have inbred with Neanderthals as recently as 37,000 years ago. Yeah, that's right. When our modern human ancestors made their move out of Africa, they may have had a little rendezvous with the Neanderthals. You see, recent studies spill the beans that a smidge of Neanderthal DNA still lingers in the genetic makeup of people with Asian or Caucasian roots. So if you're itching to uncover just how much of that ancient charm you've got in you, all it takes is a simple cheek swab and sending it off to a DNA testing company. Now, for those unfamiliar with Neanderthals, we'll make it very simple for you. They were basically an ancient human species that vanished around 40,000 years ago, but not before interbreeding with modern humans. In today's video, we're embarking on a thrilling exploration into the final chapter of these cavemen. From gripping survival strategies to the emergence of Homo sapiens, we'll journey through pivotal moments that shaped the fate of the Neanderthals. This isn't just about extinction, it's a captivating time travel into a world where Neanderthals and Homo sapiens coexisted and interacted with each other. Also be sure to stick around till the end because we'll be painting a hypothetical scenario, imagining how our world would look today if caveman ancestors had not faced extinction. So don't miss out on this thought-provoking adventure. It's time to revisit the story of our Neanderthal ancestors. Who were the Neanderthals? In 1856, limestone quarry workers in Germany's Neander Valley stumbled upon fossilized bones, initially mistaking them for remnants of a bear. Little did they know that this discovery would alter the course of history. They had hit the paleontological jackpot, setting the stage for an epic reveal of ancient human relatives who had a good run on Earth from around 400,000 to 40,000 years ago. Cue the most dramatic music that you can find for the entrance of Homo neanderthalensis, better known as Neanderthals, our closest known relatives in the evolutionary tree. Before Homo sapiens, there were a total of 8 Homo species, each with unique adaptations and behaviors, living for much longer periods than we have. Neanderthals, with their distinct characteristics and culture, were one of these species. They coexisted with humans in Europe for thousands of years and lived in various regions across Europe and parts of Asia, adapting to different environments and climates. Despite the common misconception that they were a bunch of grunting, loincloth-wearing, knuckle-dragging brutes, a recent study has shown otherwise. Neanderthals were skilled hunters, master tool creators, and even had the finesse to bury their dead. Who knew cavemen had a soft side? In fact, evidence suggests that Neanderthals had complex social structures and were capable of symbolic thinking, as seen in the cave art and personal ornaments found in their archaeological sites. Before we delve into their history and the complex story of human evolution, let's begin by taking a look at their physical characteristics, shall we? Neanderthals boasted prominent brows, protruding faces, and rib cages that were shorter, deeper, and wider than ours. Their eye sockets were notably larger, though the mystery lingers as to whether their vision differed from ours. Now let's talk height, because size matters, right? On average, male Neanderthals stood about 5 feet 4 inches tall, while their female counterparts reached approximately 5 feet. Investigating the mysteries of the mind, researchers suggest that Neanderthal brains were comparable in size to ours, yet possessed a more elongated shape. Contrary to their often misunderstood reputation as primitive cavemen, Neanderthals were remarkably intelligent and accomplished humanoids. These were no ape men. They demonstrated ingenuity in stone technology. Also, they weren't grunting and pointing. They had communication skills, which showed in their capacity to plan group hunts, which helped them bring down large game such as mammoths and bison. They also exhibited the ability to make fire, a skill dating back at least 200,000 years. The mastery of fire was crucial for their survival in challenging environments. With all this in mind, questions arise, making us wonder, what exactly was it that led to the disappearance of this species, which had successfully thrived for more than 350,000 years? You see, Neanderthals didn't vanish all at once. Their disappearance unfolded gradually, hinting at local population extinctions. The culprits? Well, there are many factors, but one of them happens to be us. Us, meaning Homo sapiens. Around 200,000 years ago, as Neanderthals were thriving in Europe and Asia, our Homo sapien ancestors were just making their mark, evolving in Africa. Fast forward to about 40,000 years ago, and modern humans began migrating, setting the stage for a fascinating clash with Neanderthals for resources and territory. How neighborly, right? Now, Neanderthals were intelligent in their own right. They were adaptable as well, there's no doubting that. But they faced a challenge. They weren't as flexible in adapting to environmental changes as Homo sapiens. This, combined with potential inbreeding, was a sure recipe for disaster, or in their case, complete extinction. In their last millennium, Neanderthals faced challenges they couldn't handle as well as us. Take, for example, hunting strategies. Neanderthals didn't exploit smaller game like rabbits as much as Homo sapiens did. Big mistake. Surprisingly, this seemingly small detail had significant consequences. By neglecting these smaller prey, Neanderthals missed out on a potential goldmine of abundant and reliable food sources during times of scarcity, when larger prey were scarce. According to a 2019 study, Neanderthal fertility was declining, possibly linked to insufficient food resources, leading to lower body fat. Even a slight dip in the fertility rate of younger females could have had profound consequences for the Neanderthal population's growth rate, pushing them closer to the brink of extinction. They simply couldn't reproduce fast enough to keep pace with the influx of modern humans moving into Europe during that period. Modern humans, on the other hand, had more advanced tools to catch these fast-moving smaller prey, items like nets or traps, giving them a crucial edge over Neanderthals. Not to forget, some paleontologists even suggest that modern humans may have clashed with Neanderthal groups or introduced novel diseases, further contributing to their decline. Now, shifting our focus to one of the most crucial factors believed to have contributed to the extinction of Neanderthals: climatic changes. Imagine a world where every few thousand years in Europe and Asia, the climate undergoes dramatic shifts from relatively warm to bitterly cold. In the face of these relentless changes, Neanderthals struggled to adapt as effectively as their Homo sapien counterparts. These extreme climatic fluctuations played a pivotal role in fragmenting Neanderthal groups during the last 100,000 years. The rapid shifts prevented them from accumulating the diverse skills and knowledge necessary to cope with the ever-changing conditions. Picture it as a series of challenges that continually kept them on the back foot. To make matters worse, these temperature swings also impacted the very plants and animals that Neanderthals depend on for survival. So only the most resourceful and adaptable could weather these environmental storms. And unfortunately, Neanderthals found themselves struggling to keep up. As the extreme cold periods gripped other parts of Europe, Neanderthals were gradually pushed southward until they reached places like Gibraltar, situated at the southern tip of the Iberian Peninsula. Here, in their final stronghold, the last Neanderthals faced another blow. They were very inbred. By this point, their populations had dwindled significantly. Scientists studying the genome of a female individual from the Altai Mountains found signs of long-term inbreeding, offering a powerful glimpse into the challenges faced by the last of the Neanderthals. Now, in the final stretch, it was basically a numbers game. Despite living in a manner reminiscent of their ancestors for generations, their numbers shrank to a critical point of no return in a race against time. The very last Neanderthals struggled to find suitable mates, were genetically defective due to heavy inbreeding, and eventually died out. Survival of the fittest, as they say. But fear not. While the Neanderthal species is officially extinct for good, their legacy lives on in some of us, with individuals carrying up to 40% of the Neanderthal genome. This genetic fusion comes with its perks and pitfalls. Want to thank your Neanderthal ancestors for your killer cold weather resistance? Go ahead. But on the flip side, you might want to blame them for that pesky type 2 diabetes or other health hiccup, Crohn's disease, lupus, and others. And now for the grand finale. Let's dive into a hypothetical world where Neanderthals aren't just fossilized relics, but a part of our everyday lives, and ask yourselves, what if Neanderthals were still alive today? Imagine bustling cities, high-tech gadgets, and the occasional caveman dressed in modern attire walking down the street. If Neanderthals had managed to coexist with Homo sapiens without significant conflict or competition, we might have seen a world with two distinct human species. This could lead to a more diverse and varied human family tree. We know Homo sapiens and Neanderthals did interbreed to some extent. If this trend had continued, there might be a more blended population today, with characteristics from both species. Imagine using dating sites. Swipe right for a modern human, swipe left for a Neanderthal, and maybe a diagonal for a hybrid mix. Talk about having options. Sure, Neanderthals had their own unique tools and culture, but in this fantasy land, we'd see a cultural exchange program that could make the United Nations jealous. Homo sapiens and Neanderthals sharing ideas and knowledge. Perhaps we would have witnessed the development of hybrid languages, combining the best elements of both species' communication systems. This cultural fusion could have resulted in a truly innovative and diverse society, where creativity and problem-solving capabilities reached unprecedented heights. But hold your prehistoric horses, because it's not all sunshine. In this make-believe reality, Neanderthals would be navigating a mixed bag of perks and challenges. On one hand, their unique physical traits could provide advantages in certain professions or activities, such as construction or outdoor sports. On the other hand, Neanderthals might face difficulties in adapting to the fast-paced and technologically advanced society we live in today. Their communication skills and reasoning abilities might be different from ours, which could lead to challenges in areas that require complex language and abstract thinking, such as academia or certain professional fields. Additionally, their genetic vulnerability to health issues could also pose challenges in modern society, as they may be more susceptible to certain diseases or conditions that are prevalent today. So here's to the Neanderthals, extinct but not forgotten, living on in our genes, and offering a connection to our ancient past. Thank you for joining us on this captivating exploration. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing explorations into the mysteries of our past. And until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep embracing the wonders of our shared human heritage.